Yeah, before we kind of officially start the workshop, I just want to say, like, you guys know that when we have this successfully, apply for this project, I was joking with my colleagues saying that, probably by the end of the project, the COVID is already over, and we are doing something, in the past rather than in it. And but then things had changed rapidly. We have all this kind of COVID-19 variants, right? Start with, I think, the Delta and Omicron. And I think now is something called a Delta Chrome or something like that. It's so it is yeah. So we're still in it, and I mean, some good news is like this Friday night we'll have some further kind of ease of restriction from in Victoria, and I believe also in New South Wales. But I think if you look at around the world, it's still it's not in the same in the same page, in the same place for ease of restriction. Yeah. So I guess like that's one thing like for this project is we are working on this topic while we're still in the COVID-19. Okay, I think I'll just make a start because I know there'll be many of participants who are joining us online from different time zones. So sorry for that. And of course, I hope like everyone has enjoyed, your Easter break. I know literally for some of our colleagues and friends are still in the holiday mood because we have ANZAC Day next Monday. So many people are taking a few days off to have this long vacation. So sorry that is probably not the best timing for our workshop, but I guess the thing is like when we are in the COVID still situation, there's never be a great time for us because there always something could happen. Like you probably even for our own team, I was really worried about if someone got a COVID confirmed and then actually have to make an apology and it cannot even for the speakers as well. So that's always things when you are try to organize something hybrid, like still in the current situation, there's a lot of things I need to think about it and prepare for last minute change. But anyway, I think that's it's still quite good to see so many people. I think I checked online, we have nearly 100 registration for today's workshop. Unfortunately, most of the people are online. I do hope to see more faces around here. I do see some people here attending physically. So this is our first Deakin-UGM joint research workshop on COVID-19 fake news detection and intervention. So this is part of our Study Melbourne Research Partnership Project, which is sponsored by Study Melbourne, and also Vice-Chancellor has provided admin support for this project. Deakin University is a leading organization for this project, and we are in partnership with UGM Indonesia. So my name is Xiao. I will be co-chairing this workshop with Associate Professor Jianxin and also Dr. Hilya. Okay. So before we start, I just want to make an acknowledgement of country. So as we gather for this meeting physically dispersed and virtually constructed, let us take a moment to reflect the meaning of the place, and doing so, recognize the various traditional lands on which we do our business today. We acknowledge the elders, past, present, and emergent of all land we work and live on, and their ancestral spirits with gratitude and respect. This is the brief, the agenda for today. We are fortunate enough to invite a few keynote speakers and also representative from the Deakin-UGM and Global Victoria to give us some the opening speeches. The second session will be the keynote from two. One is from Professor Jenny from MIT, and we also have a keynote speech from Dr. Usman Kosong, who is the General Director of Public Communication Information from the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Indonesia. And after that, we're going to have a 20-minute tea break, and continue. We're going to have the last keynote speech by Dr. Henry from Griffith University. And finally, I hope we're going to have a very interesting and interactive panel discussion, which will be chaired by Hilya and joined by 5 panelists from academia and also from media. So without further ado, I would like to pass on to Professor Baskaran, Pro Vice-Chancellor, International Research Partnership, Deakin University, to give us a welcome address. Over to you, Bas.
Thank you. Hope you can hear me.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you very much for the organizers to giving me the opportunity to provide the welcome address. Welcome all the participants to the first Deakin-UGM joint research workshop on COVID-19 fake news detection and intervention. This workshop is organized as part of the project which Professor Xiao mentioned earlier, multilingual COVID-19 fake news detection and intervention, funded by the Study Melbourne Research Partnership Program, which is a Victorian government initiative. As part of this initiative, to encourage Victorian universities to engage with our international partners in various research activities as well. And in this project is led by Deakin University in collaboration with UGM, which is pretty much the #1 research university in Indonesia, particularly bringing the research expertise from both institutions to address one of the recent challenges. And as we all know, the impact of fake news items, and then that impact goes on social as well as an economic in the community as well. Just to give you a background of as a Deakin University is a young university established in 1974 and ranked among the top 1% of the universities worldwide. It's also ranked within the top 50 of the young universities across the world. And we have about 66,000 students coming from various countries. And probably we are the largest university with the domestic student enrollment, as well as probably about 6th or 7th largest university in Australia as well. We have a multi-campus university. We have campuses, two campuses in our regional city called Geelong, and a main campus in Burwood in Melbourne, and a small regional campus in Warrnambool as well. Our focus is very much on, particularly in terms of the research side. The School of Information Technology at Deakin University has a world-class research capability focusing on cybersecurity, distributed computing, and artificial intelligence. It's one of the largest schools in information technology across Australia. Its computer science and engineering program ranked within the top 100 in the world, according to ARW subject ranking. In addition to the School of Information Technology, Deakin also has 2 independent research institutes, the Applied Artificial Intelligence Institute, as well as the Institute for Intelligent System Research and Innovation. So the broader aspect of information technology or computer science engineering is applied across various sectors as well. I think in the current world, not only in the COVID situation, but also in the other area, the information technology skill or the digital skill is important across various industry sectors as well. Deakin University is one of the few Australian universities coordinates its engagement with Indonesia through its office in Jakarta, which has been established about 13 years ago, and a small team under the leadership of Ibu Lina represent Deakin University in Indonesia. They are our key interacting point, connecting our researchers and our institution to Indonesian institutions as well. Deakin is very keen to work with our institutional research partners such as UGM, ITB, and UI to address some of the global challenges facing both countries as well. Our focus of research at Deakin is very much turning some of the great ideas into impact. I think whatever the research we do, it has to be applicable and it has to have a social, economical, and cultural impact into the community we serve as well. We translate some of the high quality research into powerful solutions and policies and capabilities. I think part of the research is also important to build that capacity and capability in a particular country. This joint project is a great example for that. We have partnered with UGM and to address some of the challenges caused by COVID-19 and then the birth of the use of social media and then the impact of fake news into the social and economic aspect of the community as well. So the project aimed to diminish the negative social and economic impact of COVID fake news through effective detection and intervention. And it's important to realize the outcome of this project will include a prototype system which can automatically retrieve online data relevant to COVID-19 news in a multilingual text and then determine whether they are fake news and if intervention action is required. Such prototype system can help government sectors and social media companies to detect and intervene COVID-19 fake news well in advance and to minimize some of the impact as well. It's very relevant to not only for Indonesia, but also for Australia. Australia is a country with a wide range of communities and multilingual communities as well. So it's important to identify and detect some of the fake news coming from COVID-19, and maybe in the future, this system can be utilized for similar type of disaster situation or a pandemic situation as well. So this project is also very well aligned with Deakin strategic plan, 2 of the 5 impact themes, such as building safe and secure communities and creating smarter technologies. And this particular project, not only developing the technology, but also to create a safe and secure community and reduce the social and economic impact of fake news as well. So I would like to wish everybody in this project and particularly in this symposium successful interaction and continue to develop the great work you all are doing, and looking forward to see the prototype and the impact on the community as well. Welcome you all and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bess. I really appreciate your words and also, your support, especially and the guidance during the beginning of our application for the project is also very, very important to the success of this project. So next, we would like to invite Dr. Inka Devana. She is the Vice Rector for Research and Community Service at UGM Indonesia. But unfortunately, she has a clash in her diary, but she has kind enough has provided a recording for the speech. So I just will provide the recordings here. Just let me go here. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning and warm regards from Universitas Gadjah Mada. The Honorable Dr. Usman Kantong, General Director of Public Communications and Informations, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia. Ms. Caroline Hartnett, Deputy Director, International Education Global Victoria, Australia. Professor Baskaran, Vice-Chancellor, International Research Partnership, Deakin University, Australia. Professor Robert Ackland, School of Sociology and Vosonland, the Australian National University. Professor Silzen Jenny Zong, Associate Dean, Higher Degree Research, School of Computing Technologies, RMIT University. Dr. Henry Nguyen, ARC DECRA Fellow, Institute for Integrated and Intelligent Systems, Griffith University. Ladies and gentlemen, it is good to see many of you today. On behalf of Universitas Gadjah Mada, it is a pleasure for me to welcome you today in the first joint research workshop of Universitas Gadjah Mada and Deakin University. I would like to thank you all very warmly for your participation today. Let me begin by thanking the research team from Universitas Gadjah Mada and Deakin University for organizing this workshop and for their collaborative effort on the study about COVID-19, particularly the multilingual fake news detection and intervention. I think this study has a very interesting and important topic for all of us to understand. This event is the first milestone to enhance the research collaborations between UGM and Deakin University. And today we are gathering with many attendees from authorities, industries, academics, and society coming from Indonesia and Australia in the development of technology and the current digital world. We can do research between countries very easily. For example, we can change ideas, we can work together, we share tasks, we share duties, and make collaborative results, for example, publications, prototyping, etc. This is certainly a good progress for all of us. And as we know, since 2019, we had exposed with information regarding COVID-19. The existence of misinformations, even fake news, is certainly a big problem. And the reason is that the more people believe the misinformation or even fake news, then they tend to ignore government regulations, which can then threaten their health and those around them. These things mean that if they do not pay attention to the virus spread and recognize the misinformation and fake news, they will try a certain fake cures or medicines that will not work. And people actually tend to believe some kind of misinformation spread in the society, particularly about health, because people are afraid of diseases that are difficult to cure, and some of the fake news gives them hopes. Thus, it is good to know that the research team from UGM and Deakin University are aware of these conditions and want to prevent it by conducting research on these issues. This is a great example of a success collaborations between Indonesia, especially UGM with Australia, especially Deakin University, in supporting the development of research about COVID-19. I hope and certainly believe that the outcome of this study can provide input for the government in dealing with the spread of fake news in the society and also increase public awareness of the existence of COVID-19 fake news. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers and all of you in this event. And I would like to open this excellent webinar, and I hope that you have all found it a fruitful event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thanks to Dr. Inka Dinivana with recorded welcome speech. Just move on to the next one. Okay. So next we have a representative from Global Victoria. I'm not sure, like Miss Caroline is here or she has some representative.
I am here. Yep. I'm here.
Okay. Hi, Caroline. So Caroline Hartnett is the Deputy Director, International Education, Global Victoria, Australia. Over to you, Caroline.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caroline Hartnett, and I'm the Deputy Director of International Education and Study Melbourne in Global Victoria, which is the Victorian Government's trade agency. So I too would like to acknowledge the traditional Aboriginal custodians of country throughout Victoria, their ongoing connection to land, water and air, and pay my respects to their culture and their elders past, present and future. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today. It's really exciting to be part of such an amazing event. And I would like to take this opportunity just to say a few words on behalf of the Victorian Government. As our state's trade agency, Global Victoria's mantra is, we open the world to Victorian businesses and welcome the business world to Victoria. So international education is our state's single largest export. It's worth 10.5 billion and supporting around 55,000 jobs in 2020, and it is a major focus of our work at Global Victoria. Our focus on international education involves shining a light on Victoria's world-class education providers, such as Deakin University, and connecting them with new opportunities and partners internationally. We do this by building the skills and knowledge of Victorian education providers to grow on the international stage, promoting the state's world-class industry capabilities to international audiences, and leading the nation as the best city in Australia to study in. It's really fantastic to see Deakin University connecting with UGM in Indonesia, as the Victorian Government considers Indonesia to be one of our key emerging global partners, particularly when it comes to international education. Victoria has Australia's second largest proportion of Indonesian students. Around 31% of Indonesian students that study in Australia come to study in Victoria. In 2020, there are over 7,000 Indonesian students enrolled with Victorian education providers. Indonesia was Victoria's 10th largest international student source country and was our 6th largest market in the higher education sector. Most Indonesian students in Victoria study in the higher education sector with over 5,000 enrolments. As of last month, there were over 4,600 student visa holders from Indonesia enrolled with a Victorian education provider. Of those, 82% are now onshore, which is really great to see. The Victorian Government has 2 dedicated education services directors based in Indonesia, Ms. Belinda Rimbo and Ms. Sophie Arinta. They're both based in our Victorian Government Trade and Investment Office, which is in Jakarta. They both have a focus on the Indonesia market. Belinda and Sophie's role is to promote Victoria as a study destination and facilitate education and research partnerships such as these for Victorian education providers as well as edtech companies. Victorian education providers are renowned for their capabilities in research and development, and this is of course demonstrated by this amazing collaboration between Deakin University and UGM. This project is one of 15 that are funded under our Study Melbourne Research Partnerships program. The Victorian Government has provided 3.6 million in grants to support international research collaborations and to promote the development of strategic partnerships in international education growth markets. This initiative is about supporting Victorian education providers, as well as edtech companies, during the challenges faced by the sector over the past 2 years. We hope to grow and diversify market access to research partners and funding, to help export new edtech products, and to strengthen Victoria's global reputation for research and innovation. We look forward to seeing more research collaborations between institutions like Deakin University and UGM, as it signifies a mature bilateral education relationship and will help profile the research and innovation talent both in Victoria, Indonesia, and internationally. Thank you so much for having me today, and I hope today's workshop and this project more broadly continues to be a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Caroline. And I would like to thank Professor Bass and Dr. Inka and Caroline for their welcome speech. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the admin team in Deakin-UGM and also from Study Melbourne and Vasky for providing us like a very smoothly kind of application process and everything like communication and everything. I do believe with this kind of support and also the team's good efforts will make sure that this project will be having a great outcome. Okay, thank you very much. So the next item and the last item for the opening is actually coming to the our introduction about the project progress report. As I mentioned earlier, so this is our first workshop, which actually happens at kind of like a middle of the this project. So we haven't finished our project yet. Our project will aim for like a complete by the mid of October, which is because this is like 12 months project. But hopefully we can already today we are presenting some of the current research progress to you. So and of course we try to kind of like explain what we are trying to achieve by the end of the project. So the presentation will be delivered by Jianxin, who is the co-lead at Deakin University, and Dr. Hilya, who is the co-lead of the project at the UGM. So over to you, Jianxin and Hilya.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Xiao. And now, Hilya and I will introduce the progress of this project and share our preliminary results. And and this page, and we would like to thank all the partnerships, including Deakin University and UGM University and the Victoria government. Yeah, thank you, Xiao. And please move on. Yeah. And this project, we have two main research team. And from the Deakin side, we have two associate professors and two part-time research fellow. And we also have two casual research assistants. And we are working on the data set collection and like research task. And we also cover the website development. So at the end of this project, we would like to provide a kind of and friendly website that can help our society to counter the fake news. From the UGM side, we also have one excellent team led by Dr. Hilya, and they are focusing on some online survey that will provide very important to this project, because we are focusing on multilingual data generation and collection. Thank you, Xiao. Please move on. Yeah, and we would like to introduce the project and the project progress by using this outline. And Xiao, please go ahead. Yeah, and as stated by the WHO, currently there are so many fake news that are propagated or diffused over internet. Sometimes this kind of fake news has hurt our society much more than the virus or disaster by themselves. So sometimes we are not fighting an epidemic, we want to fight an infodemic. So we would like to confirm which kind of information should be true or not false, or some misunderstanding information. By providing this kind of information to our society or public, that can help them to know so what is true, and then how this true news will affect their judgment. So this is our main target of this overall project. Shall please move on. And regarding the fake news detection or classification, and normally we follow the general framework. Firstly, and we have to collect the ground truth data set, because with the support of ground truth data set, and we can train our model. After that, we have to do the data pre-processing sometimes, and a lot of deep learning or machine learning models. That depends on the quality of the data set. So we have several research assistants to support us on this data pre-processing and the data set cleaning. And at the third step, we have to do some feature extraction or feature mining. Sometimes on the real news, there are so many factors like location, country, and cultures, or the other different text or multi-thread information. So by combining these multiple features or explicit or implicit information together, so it's very challenging to decide or to determine which features or which set of features could be important. So that we focus on the feature extraction also. After that, there are so many models that are available for us to use. So which models and to that can support that can provide strong support for different kind of fake news. Yeah, because the fake news may have different labels, have different categories. So regarding the different type of fake news, different models may be appropriate. So in this case, we have to decide and which model should be the best to different type of fake news. After that, and given one particular model, we have to train, we have to adjust the parameters within the model. So otherwise, even if the model is good, but sometimes that cannot produce the high quality prediction. So that will be a disaster for the data consumption. So after that, and after we train the model, we can deliver the model for the public. They can use our well-trained model and to make their own prediction about the data set or the news they are confused. Okay, Xiao, please more. Yeah, and regarding the COVID-19 fake news, there are a lot of channels or ways we should pay more attention. And from the bottom to the up, you can say sometimes the online information or social media, they are consumed by some individual people. And after that, and this on the social media like Facebook or Twitter, this kind of fake news or true news, they are propagated differently or in different patterns. So we have to recognize this kind of patterns or their behavior of the information propagation. So that can help us to engage the public. After that, and there are a lot of fact-checking web services on the internet that can help us to identify which news is correct or which news is true or false. That can help the society to make the identification. But at this channels, multiple channels, the most challenging part is the multilingual fake news detection based on the user's different background, different culture, or different opinions. So this is the main technical challenge of our project. Please go on, Xiao. Yeah. There are three project missions. For us, the first one is a way how to collect and generate some public data set, and then this data set should be cleaned and easily used by scholars or government or the industry partners, and we can help them to prepare this high quality data set. And the mission 2, and we have to design the multilingual models. So different, okay, like before, maybe some research models, they are focused on the one language or single language, or some pure models. So, but in the practical scenario, we have to build a robust multilingual model. And the last mission, and after we have the data set, we have the model design to be designed. How can we communicate the research findings with the government, with the public? So we focus on the fake news intervention and mission 3. Yeah, please move on, Xiao. Yeah, now I would like to invite our UGM project leader, Hilya, to introduce the online story part.
Okay, thank you, Jianxin, about the opportunity for me to present about the progress from UGM. So actually, we have conducted an online survey to answer the first mission about individual online behavior. And we are still doing a survey. And what the aim of the survey is, we'd like to know about the trust level of people in terms of absorbing information. And also we would like to know about the ability of people in detecting fake news. And from online survey, we also conducting distinguishing between generation gap. So we would like to know which one of the generation that able to detect fake news and which one that more sensitive to fake news. And not only that, we also data set collection, particularly for the multilingual model prediction in Indonesia. So we we collect the data set for COVID-19 fake news and real news to build the multilingual prediction model. So please go to the next slide. And here's the online survey target. So actually we will run the survey not only for Indonesian, but we also conduct a survey to Australian. And we targeted 750 Indonesian respondent and 750 Australian respondent. And as I talked to you before, that we would like to know which generation that more easy to detect the fake news. From the preliminary study that we got so far, we think that the younger generation will be more easy to detect fake news. But the thing is, it's about contradictive, because we found that the younger generation, this is the generation that's not as easy to detect the fake news. Maybe we can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so what we have done so far, we already have 300 Indonesian respondents, and it's still ongoing for Australian residents too. And for data set, we already collected 1,681 fake data sets in Indonesian online news. And also for the real news, we already collected the data 1,703 real news data set. So maybe that's all for UGM side progress report. I will offer to you, Jianxin.
Okay, thank you, Hilya, for your introduction. I think that is good to have this kind of first-hand online survey data set that will provide us a strong support to verify, to validate the existing fake news detection models and our proposed research models. And at our mission 1.2, we besides our own generated online survey data set, we also collect some public data set from some fact-checking website and Twitter platform. And we would like to generate and prepare a rich data set that can be used by worldwide researchers. And please move on, Xiao. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just notice that you wanted me to. There's a typo.
Yes, there is a typo mistake, and sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries. It's just another one on the other side, or maybe just continue.
Okay.
Frank.
Yeah, that's here. Yeah. Okay, let me briefly introduce. Yeah, because some our attendees or the researchers, they would like to interested how many data sets we have. So at this moment, we have successfully collected and prepared 30,000 pieces of news. This news contains some fake news or true news. So that should be certified for us and the collaborators to validate their proposed models. And this data set are collected from over 100 fact-checking websites and cover more than 37 languages. So that could be suitable to validate the multilingual research findings. Yeah. And this is a overview for the data set we collected. And okay, you just provide the URL address of the fact-checking website, and then we have the tools and to automatically download the data set and label that. After that, we will index this downloaded data set and fake news or the true news into our fake news database. So the database should be accessed by anyone with the permission. Yeah, thank you, Xiao. Yeah, and this and this title, and we'd like to show an example. We collected our data set from the worldwide countries, and this collected news have been labeled with the fake, non-evidence, or mainly correct based on the several classifications. Thank you, Xiao. Please move on. Yeah, today we have achieved some preliminary results, and in early 2020, and we have conducted a preliminary study about topic modeling and sentiment analysis about COVID-19 pandemic. And in 2020, we also in 2022. We also conducted some COVID-19 data analysis about vaccine opinions from the worldwide. And recently, we also completed 2 survey papers that verify the existing models. And we would like to share these research findings to the public. Yeah, and Xiao, please move on. Yeah. And these slides show one of our research results and regarding the vaccine opinions. From this example results, you can say at different countries or different groups, they have different opinions or sentiments about the vaccine. And by presenting this kind of easily and friendly word cloud, so we can help the public to recognize and about how about the local public opinion about the vaccine and how they help our society in a positive way. Yeah, thank you, Xiao. And please move on. Yeah, I think that is our overall research progress. We also developed a project website called as counterinformatic.org. So if you have interest, you are welcome to visit our website. And if you have any feedback, advice, and we much appreciate your support and help. Thank you, Xiao. And this is our progress.
Yep. Thanks, Jianxin and Hilya, and thanks for a very detailed introduction about the progress of this project. As we mentioned, we are halfway through, but I think Jianxin and Hilya already demonstrated like a very detailed and solid progress that we have achieved so far. And honestly speaking, I think there's a lot of things that we are thinking of, and we're trying to collaborate with other organizations to really expand the scope of this project to hopefully achieve more, not only just within the 12 months kind of a frame, and especially given this is a kind of a collaborative project with UGM, we would actually discuss a lot of things that how we actually gonna build up and all continue beyond this 12 months project time frame. Yeah. So and hopefully, of course, this is just a summary of what we have achieved so far, and hopefully by probably our next workshop, which will be the second workshop that we're planning to have near to the end of the project, which will probably in late September, will give you a kind of another very detailed update. And also by that time, hopefully we'll come up with some kind of useful tools. These tools could be, we're still thinking about, it could be a kind of a web portal, it could be a mobile app, which will open to the public. So whenever you feeling that you come across to something like looks like a fake news or something that you cannot confirm, you can just paste your URL there, just like you Google nowadays. When you Google it, when you just can put the URL over there, and then we will come up with a verification for you, and come up also with some kind of recommendations and related information for you to help people to verify, and how confidently you are that for this is fake news or not. So that's something we're still working on, and hopefully we'll achieve that by the end of the project. Okay, I think that's conclude the first session, which is the opening and also the project progress report. So for the next session, we'll start our keynote speech.